You're just telling me that it's on there.
It's on.
And the same thing too. Like if you find yourself leaning back, just look at your screen and say, "Oh, am I in the light?"
Yeah.
You know, kind of like. So it's been. When was the last time we filmed something?
I think it's been about a year.
It's been about a year.
About a year.
From where we started from filming and kind of seeing how I produce something, what do you notice about the differences?
Well, the setup is different. I mean, there's the lighting is different, and I think I kind of learned a little bit. You know, watching these videos, there's feeling is real. You know, you think you're doing one thing, but when you get on camera, you find out you've got those quirks. You know, do you say ah, la, the little stuff that you don't pay attention to. So I think doing this for, I'm gonna say this is probably our fourth,
How about third or fourth?
third or fourth one, and you learn a little bit. You know, you see yourself uh, differently. You know, so
It's funny hearing you say that because a lot of people don't understand or maybe know how much production goes into creating something. And there's different type of people that make different types of content and there are different levels of production. And I just genuinely have an interest in it. But learning this stuff and kind of putting it all together is kind of crazy when you see it all come to fruition, right? And especially like when I may have somebody and I want to do a podcast with them, and I'm kind of going over, doing some housekeeping. I say, hey, when you're talking, if you forget something, don't worry about it. I'm gonna edit it. No one's ever gonna know. When you're talking, don't always just look at me. Look at the camera because the camera is the audience because they want to see you and talk to you as well. And then kind of like what you were saying, those little mannerisms and quirks that people have because in a regular conversation, you'd be talking to somebody and you just want to give some form of acknowledgement that you were paying attention or you were attentive to what they're talking about. And you're like, yeah, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's what's up. Oh, yeah, yeah. But in film, I shoot with two cameras. So right now you'll see a split screen, but then you'll see one where dad's got his own view. And then you'll see me in my own view. And if I'm on my own view and dad's, yeah, yeah, that just becomes kind of annoying in a production when the audience is like listening to it. So it's interesting like learning all these things and then just kind of like seeing it come up. And one of the things that you talked about that I kind of want to hear what you thought about it or what you think about it now was the stuff that I was making before with the lighting setup. Like, what do you think about lighting now compared to what you were experiencing before when we first started filming?
I just put it to you like this. So the lighting last time from a scale of 1 to 5 was I would say maybe a 2.5, 3.
That bad?
Well, that just goes to show that uh, not only the quality of equipment, but the knowledge in which to use it.
Mm, yeah.
So now you've kind of brought all that together, and in watching you set up, it's like wow, it's like seamless. You've done this so many times before, and then the lighting and the camera position. It's a professional setup.
Yeah, it's a professional setup. And the thing that's crazy for y'all that can't see this, and I'm gonna show you some of this, right? Every light that's in this shot is created. There's no original light in here. And as far as light sources, I'm trying to get my camera out so I can actually do a video of this while I'm talking to you. I want to say there's one, two, three, four, five, six lights in here. And to kind of give you the count of these lights, right? Because this is like the whole production set right now. This little light that's in the bookshelf, I put that there. So that's one. This is two. This is giving me the little blue effect. This is the light for dad that goes on him. This is the light that goes for me. This is the accent light that he has in the background. And if you look at dad's camera behind him, you'll see like some light that's over here. That light's not real. I'm making that light with this light right here. But that just goes to show you what it takes to kind of give you a different production value. And is all this stuff necessary needed? I wouldn't say you need it. It just depends on what do you want to create. And I just kind of know the image that I want to create when I'm filming, and I kind of like what I produce. So I don't know, but lighting it's everything for real. Without lighting, you got really got to do a lot of work.
And last thing, being in the setup when you're watching TNT, the halftime show, and you're watching those guys or ladies, and you're watching what they're doing, and being in this setup, you get a very good idea of what they're doing, what they're feeling, especially the new ones when they're looking, where they're looking, why they're looking, and how comfortable they feel because it shows once you've been in that setup and you kind of get a sense of the lighting and probably the people behind the camera, where the little monitors at, and how often do they look at themselves to see how they look. So it's good stuff.
Definitely.
It's good stuff.
And when you talk about comfort, that's another thing too. When I'm always talking to people trying to get them to come on, and the people that do come on and I film with, I tell them, I say, hey, when you get to the set, and they're just like, what are you talking about set? When you get to the set and you see the lights, don't freak out. They always kind of freak out. But for me, being like the producer, I got to make you feel comfortable. So and that's another thing too. From things we produced before or things I produced and we filmed, like that setup for this setup, do you feel like just looking at the equipment, does it give you like kind of more pressure, kind of like an anxiety?
I think it's totally opposite. I feel more comfortable. Because it's like, the lighting is natural, and as we walk through it and you explain it, this light here does that, the light from this, is controlled. And so now, it's like, when you're in a position where you understand things, you're comfortable. I think when you walk into a set, you really don't know, why that's like that and why it's like that. So your mind is always thinking this mystery. It's not a mystery anymore. I mean, you explained it, you pointed it out, and so now I'm comfortable. I mean, as comfortable as I can be.
But like I said, I think a lot of ownership of your comfort is on me to kind of make you feel
Yeah.
comfortable. And then also, I think that's kind of like a testament to let you know that I know the equipment. And when it comes to equipment, if you are interested into anything that I'm using, there's going to be in the description a link to all the stuff that I use, right? And I'm driving this home and I'm bringing this up because a lot of times I talk cameras, equipment, lighting to people, and they say, "Oh, I need this 4K camera, I need this 8K camera," and I explain to them like there's a lot that you can do with less. And one thing that I would tell anybody, regardless of the equipment that you have, before you consider getting more equipment, master the equipment that you have. I would tell you that will save you so much money because right off the rip, when you were looking at the specifics when it talks about like the aspect ratio and what kind of format is it? Is it 4K, 5K? All my stuff says 4K, but I do not film in 4K. I don't have a 4K camera. My camera is a Canon 90D, and I bought this camera years ago, and it came out in 2019. And you're asking yourself in 2024, how are you having such a good production value with such an old piece of equipment? And the answer to that is I have mastered my equipment. And that's kind of like knowing what you can do. Then you got post production and being able to upscale a product. And then what I found out was the key thing, like the lighting we was talking about. Lighting will make your video production so much better. If somebody was going to get into content creation, making videos, getting on YouTube, and they say, what kind of camera I should get? My first thing then was like, hey, do you have a phone? Use your phone. Use your phone, get you some light, you can make some good content. That's like I probably just saved you about $2,000. Trust me. I had to spend a lot of money on equipment. But I just wanted to kind of have this conversation with you. Dad's on here, kind of get his perspective on it and kind of see what he thinks about it. Yeah, anything.
And that goes for a lot of things in life. Talking about buying stuff for your bikes. Master what you got before you go spend a whole lot of money. Yeah, we say in golf, you'd rather have a $5 club and a $500 swing instead of a $500 club and a $5 swing. Master your equipment.
That's some good advice right there. So if you are liking the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. The channel is doing outstanding and we are getting closer to that destination. So, hey, if you find this helpful, subscribe to the channel. That's all we got for you. Out.